Good morning folks, we are in and we are off with today, which is going to be a little bit of a consolidation day frankly. So we know that we've got to get these coolers under this platform. So at the moment is where I'm housing all the scaffolding. So I'm going to take that scaffolding out, put it on this rack. So that means first this rack needs tidying up. But before we take that rack off, I've got to get rid of all this kind of rubbish and find somewhere for that to live, possibly various places. And then once I've done that, I'm going to bring the TIG welder out of the workshop and I'm going to perform surgery on these tanks in situ. So we're going to just do that here, and then around lunchtime we're going to have a visit by the accountant, and then after that hopefully there'll be enough steam in my boiler to carry on with this project, and well, maybe we'll get most of these tanks patched up today. I'll just recap some of that because obviously the music came on the radio. So once we've got all the junk off this rack, we're going to put the scaffolding up there, and then we'll put the junk back on in a more orderly fashion. The chillers will be sitting underneath this deck where the scaffolding is now, and then we're going to bring the welder out of the workshop and we're going to perform open heart surgery on these tanks. We of course have to wait for the angle to arrive for these top sections, so we'll do these two last. We have to revisit or maybe design something for this little CIP dolly that I'm thinking about doing, not dolly, skid. And then we also have to empty the caustics out of the tank from last night's CIP. So let's see how we got on. Well, she looks clean folks. Just needs a little bit of a rinse in bits where obviously there are dead spots, and then we can close her down ready for the next brew session. Looks like a smiley face, doesn't it? Or an indifferent face. What do you think, Chance? What do you think, buddy? Where's your ball? I don't know. New battery in the helmet by the looks of it. Accountant been and gone. We've got a few things ironed out, but I tell you what, I'm having a bit of a mare all of a sudden. So I've just been on Screwfix's website to order some stuff and it's crashed on me, and I've had to ring their support because it wouldn't accept PayPal and all this other kind of weird stuff. And now the computer won't turn on because I needed to go on there because the friggin' helmet's packed up, folks. That's right. I'm not exactly sure what's gone on. I've tried to use this old one, but the welding glass in there is far too dark for TIG welding, and I can't see what I'm doing. Talking of dark, put the light on. So yeah, I've got all the mechanism out here. Excuse me, and it's just not auto darkening, so I don't know what to do with it. But Screwfix do sell an auto darkening unit for about 24 quid, so that was what I was going to go and get. But of course the website's crashed on me, and now it's approaching school run time, 3:30, and Gemma doesn't have her car because it's having tyres changed. So I'm going to be leaving the brewery a boot new. We'll see if we can put something interesting into the vlog outside of this domain. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are home, and of course not wanting to leave you guys without any footage for the vlog, I thought, well, best thing I can do at the moment is probably pour myself a pint of the fantastic Vacant Gesture which we've got on at home, and then go outside and talk about some of the purchases that we've made from Screwfix, which is where I went when I left work. We've since been for some food. We've had an evening meal at a local pub called the Checkers, which was fantastic, and we've also got the welding helmet that I required to replace the one that's broken today. So this welding helmet was from Screwfix. It was around £25 to £29. It's auto darkening. Not really got all the bells and whistles that you'd expect something for £29. You'd not expect them to have it in the first instance, would you? That's good enough for me. So let's go outside. Let's talk about this auto darkening helmet from Screwfix, and let's enjoy a nice, well, 5/6 of a pint of Vacant Gesture. I can smell it from here. Oh God. Mwah. So the benefit of coming out here, folks, is that we've got good light if nothing else, and here it is. This is the Impacts Professional Power Tools Auto Darkening Helmet from the usual scumbags, as I would say, Screwfix. So what I like about the packaging immediately is this handy chart on the back, which gives you all of the settings, the shade settings for all the different types of process. So before we crack into her, cheers for, oh, I'll get rid of that. It's an oversized pint glass, you see. Pint to the line. Sometimes I fill it to the brim. Sometimes. Oh, that's wonderful, chaps. Alright, so a slight reposition of the package. And let's get into her and have a look exactly what bang you get for basically very little buck. And already I see Ziploc bags. We ain't gonna need that. And here is exhibit number 1, Your Honour. The Impacts or Professional Power Tool Auto Darkening Helmet. Right, well, it's got some stickades on the front lens, which funny little anecdote. When I first started building the brewery, you guys might have been along for the journey at the time, but I did my first 100 meters of kind of TIG welding with the protective screen on the front of my helmet, and I never even knew. I wondered why it was so difficult to see. I thought that was just what you had to put up with, and you know what, quite frankly, that probably helped me out, didn't it? So they do say in the description that this has a lithium cell in it. I somehow don't think for that kind of money it's going to have a lithium cell, because the lithium cell is going to require a regulator charging circuit, and quite frankly I can't see how they'd afford to put one in And there we go. So I imagine this is probably just a nickel cadmium, a NiCad rechargeable cell in there. I'll tell you what though folks, this is actually a very, very similar size and setup to the one that we've got in at work. So if indeed, there we go, if indeed this one is the same size, I might just switch the auto darkening section out and do away with this helmet altogether, but we'll see. I don't want to jump the gun. So we've got the usual plastic lenses, plastic lens on there, secondary plastic lens on this filter section here, and then this bit should, I believe, be UV blocking. And then of course if we kind of hold that up to the sun, well, it doesn't darken at all, so I don't know where indeed the shade settings are on this. I can't see any settings at all, so it kind of beats me how it works. That's weird, isn't it? How would it work if it doesn't have any shade settings on it? You tell me how that's an adjustable. Well, maybe we're going to have to go into the instructionos after all. So a lot of it's all in Chinglish until we get to the front. Here we are. Troubleshooting. Faceplate fails to darken. Do not use. Why not? Light shade scale number 3, 11. The impacts is manufacturer's identification. No idea what any of this means. Where's the shade adjustment? Doesn't tell you. So it might be auto darkening, but it certainly doesn't seem to have an adjustment setting on there. Further investigation required, folks, before we're going to pass this off. But for 20 quid, 30 quid, what does one expect? So I've kind of run around the garden with it. I've been in, that's bright now, been in the house, tested it with a numerous amount of light bulbs and whatnot, and it doesn't seem to work with LEDs, doesn't seem to work with sunlight, which, you know, you kind of think the first thing it would work with is sunlight, considering the amount of UV coming in from the sun. But it does seem to work with the halogen bulbs that we've got on the cooker hood, so I don't know, I can't tell because I don't have a welder at home whether this is going to be any good or not. So what we'll do is we'll take it to work tomorrow, and it's always handy to have something like this. It's kind of like a backup helmet, I guess, but I don't think I'll be able to use it on a day-to-day basis because I like the variable adjustment that I had on the other helmet. So what I'll probably do is that turned off then. That's crazy. See, it's intermittent. So what I'll probably do is order another one off eBay, and if I need to weld tomorrow, then I'll see if I can get on with this. Hopefully I can. The instructions are literally no good whatsoever, and I don't know why on earth it's going to give you this shade guide chart when in fact there's no manual adjustment on it whatsoever. So for 20 quid, probably good enough for well, we'll see tomorrow, but probably good enough for getting you out of a pinch. But a professional welding helmet, it certainly is not. But we'll put it through its paces tomorrow, folks, so if you want to join me then, hit that bell notification, and YouTube will let you know when the next video's up. Anyway, I'm going in the house to edit this one, and well, that's little onions, as they say around here. That's shallot.